Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 mk2, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. This is session 33.8, and I figure we'll just go over one more time what it kind of might look like if you wanted to actually play this live, and you could record a session into one of your pads here. My dog's nails are super clicky. I guess the microphone's picking up. I can hear it. Anyway, we will go over doing that. So again, if you want to just mute out different parts, shift and reverse, and then hitting the pad is probably the easiest way to do it. I'm not going to bother recording or resampling back in. I'll just kind of show you guys. So I personally, you could obviously set up different patterns here and kind of move your way through them. But if you just have everything running, then, it's not that hard just to kind of kick it off. Or, if you want to do prep, you could come in and do shift reverse, kind of mute stuff out. And you can at least see where pads are, where you might want to mute things. But personally, I would say, come in. It's probably worth prepping your mutes, and you can see that they show up red where things are. And then when you're ready to kind of drop in, you can start unmuting different sections. Because I don't have everything playing here on all the pads, it might be easy to kind of forget where things are. But I would probably look at just kind of trying to focus on like every bar or two where you might bring things in, drop them out. And if you have everything on one page, it does make it easier to actually do the mutes and unmutes. You can even, if you have some of these pads, you can just kind of play stuff in live as you want to if it's not muted. So, if you just practice, you can get kind of quick at doing this. It's a little bit hard to kind of talk through and do a performance at the same time. But I would say, just kind of think about where your transitions are. And again, you can even, we know that some of these things won't be playing because they're muted, but you could switch over to another pattern. Like this doesn't have, it's got these two pads going. It doesn't have the other one going, so you could then unmute everything. Let that go. You could come back to your pattern knowing that when it triggers at the next end of the bar, it's going to bring everything back in. So hopefully that makes sense. But I think there's ways to think about this logically for how you might want to work through a pattern, build things up, do your drops, move in, move out of your sounds, and you can kind of just let it kind of go in the way that it makes sense. Like you can see here for, I want to be on bank view. So you can see here we just have the one that we had for the one sound. If we wanted to make sure that we weren't playing the middle one or the other one when we're queuing up the next pattern, we can make sure that we're in the pattern mode and just mute out whatever makes sense. Maybe we don't even want this to be playing when we transition over. Now, I didn't do a great job for the transition, but I muted it, and then it just immediately started playing this one because it is a part of that pattern. So if you're just thinking about what is in your patterns, knowing that your pad mutes are going to carry over in between your performance, you can switch between doing pad mutes to mute things in real time or queue them up for the next pattern that you have playing. Another fun thing that you can do here is you can kind of actually play it rhythmically if you wanted to. So you could take this vocal piece and just start kind of you can kind of play it in by hand. So, and then if you want to just kind of make sure you know what your pattern is where you're leaving it on and off. And, you can kind of drop into the next thing. As I say, just keep moving is the important part. And don't be afraid to, make mistakes sometimes. It happens. Especially if you're just practicing and trying to see what works and doesn't work. Anyway, guys, this is kind of it for this. This is not where I expected to end up, per se, but had fun. Keep making music, everybody. Keep having fun. If it sounds good, it is good. And peace. And I'll take all these sounds and I'll export them and put them up on my website or something for you guys to grab. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.